Oh, this hair color? Oh, thank you. Yes, I call it Murky Lake. Hi guys. I am going to do a makeup tutorial today because I'm a little bored. And we can still have pretty makeup while we're in quarantine to make our day feel a little bit more normal. I have started off with a semi-clean, it's kind of the vibe of my life, beauty blender. And I have clean skin. I'm going to mist with this Glycerin Stem C Mist. I'm obsessed with these products. They're all vegan. I talk about them a lot. Kim, the owner and creator, has become one of my friends, which is really cool. And then I'm going to, I think I'm supposed to add the beauty serum to that. It's an anti-aging treatment. So you're supposed to like wet your face a lot and then let the serum sink in. I've been spending a lot of time outside in the backyard with my kids, and my melasma that I always talk about is really feeling that. So I'm trying to be good about sunscreen, but it's hard. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry. I'm going to use a Tata Harper eye balm. I really love this. It says it's a boosted contouring eye balm. And it's kind of thick, so I'm gonna dig some out and warm it up. My fingertips. And I'm gonna like pat it around my eyes. I'm gonna be careful because that skin is so thin, or will get thin. Let me put it here. These beautiful lines that start to show up more by the day, it seems. You can kind of use this as lip balm too. Or I do anyway. And I'm going to go to my trusted Glycerin Anti-Aging Cucumber and Peptide Moisturizer. So one thing I've realized, I'm like oil queen. I love to put oils on my face, but if you put oils on, if you prep with oils, your makeup doesn't stay on as well, your foundation. So I tend to use those when I'm not wearing makeup or at night. It smells so good. I'm a cucumber girl, so I really enjoy this cream, and it's pretty lightweight. Okay. Get your hands. What have I been using? I've been using this, who makes this? Giorgio Armani. It's one of their newer foundations. I got it right before quarantine, and I've used it a lot. Like, why have I been wearing this much makeup? I don't know. But I really like the texture. It takes a little bit to blend in. It's called Power Fabric, high coverage. And I don't really want super high coverage, but I want enough to cover the dark spots and get like even skin tone. So I'm gonna focus a lot up here where I'm uneven. This color is actually a little bit light for me because of all the sunning I've been doing. Trying to be too aggressive, but I do want to blend it well so it doesn't take a ton of time. You can put a little on your lids to create a base. I'm not going to do an eyeshadow base because I don't need that much. I don't need to spend that much time doing my makeup today. And that is pretty even. Ooh, I'm going to put my beauty light on. That's better. That's pretty even. And I'm going to use an RMS Uncover Cover Up. So it looks like this, it's a cream. And I'm gonna use my fingers and just pop a little underneath my eye. Sometimes I'm a fan of this and sometimes I'm not, depending on how much sleep I've gotten. I really don't like super white underneath people's eyes. It makes you look like you have some kind of mask on and just kind of highly unnatural. But if you have some dark circles, sometimes it's necessary. I'm gonna blend that with my beauty blender. I got some in my eye, ouch. Yesterday, Banks in the pool jammed her whole entire finger inside my eye. It's still irritated. It hurts so bad. Okay, that's pretty blended. Now I found this deep in my drawer. It's called Razika, I think. It's a contouring palette. It's really nice because it has highlight, bronzer, and contour. And I'm going to use this nice dirty brush that I found. And I'm gonna use the ashy brown color in the middle, flick some of your product off, and I'm gonna create a crease in my lid. I don't like a cat eye. So I focus more on the inside part of my eye and a little above my crease line to create the illusion that I have a deeper crease than I do. And I also like to drag it on the insides and down my nose. So you get a little bit of that like feline effect. Follow the your bone structure of your nose and about here where it starts to dent in, if you want to accentuate that, just create a line. And I do it with a fluffy brush so it's not too intense. And everyone's nose shape is different, so you kind of have to figure out what works for you. But that works for me. And then I'm gonna blend it a little bit so it's not too harsh. And I like that. This is a soft, fluffy brush, but it's not too fat. I'm gonna use the same color, maybe with a little bit of brown, and create my contour. I like the W effect. So if you think about your face like a big W, you'd go up the middle of your face where your nose is to create like sunshine almost, how the sun would hit you, and then up again. And then you can do a little bit all the way around. Create a nicer jawline that I don't actually have. Blend the eyeshadow crease that I did, the fluffy brush. And that's already made me a little more bronzy. And I'm gonna take that down just a little. Doesn't look insane. And I'm gonna actually take a highlight, one of these highlights, and the fat part of my beauty blender, smudge it out on my hand, and pop that in the T-zone area. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna set my under eye concealer that I did with the same kind of just mixture of bright shadow. It has a slight shimmer, but not too much. There we go. Okay, my base is done. Now I'm going to get into the fun stuff. I'm loving these MAC mineral blushes. This is called New Romance, and this one's called Fairly Precious. It's an orangey tone, and since my hair is lake water green right now, I've been really liking the coral and orangey tones. And I'm gonna give myself some blush. I'm gonna get the brush hairs off my face. Go away, go away, go away. Okay. These are super shiny, which I love. They're so pretty and natural. And I might add a little more pop of blush at the end, but we'll see. Okay. Now, what am I gonna do? This, Gucci Westman. She made a really pretty a couple of highlighters she made. This one is called Peach. And I'm gonna use it as an eyeshadow today. So using that same brush that I contoured with, I'm just going to create a nice little sheen on my lid. All over, like that. Not being too precious about it. So you can be smudgy. You can bring it out a little bit over here. And I need a little bit more precise brush. This looks like my daughter's been dipping into it. Sometimes I get the shock of my life. She's been in an eyeshadow palette with a brush and it'll be super dark and I won't realize it, and then I'll like ruin my makeup by using that brush before I look at it to clean it. I'm just doing a little undershadow. And I'm gonna pop a highlight above my lip here and on the tip of my nose. I'm actually going to go under my brow here for a little shine. You see? This is actually a very nice color. I use it all over my face too, and it's nice to, if you have your chest showing, to add it here too. Collarbone and chest. It's a really nice versatile color. So this weekend I was playing around with a blue eyeliner. This is a liquid liner. It's by Marc Jacobs. It can be a little finicky, but I'm gonna try to recreate what I did because it was really fun. So I start in the middle of my lash line and start to paint out towards the edge of my eye. And then I don't go all the way down to where my eyelashes are. I start to flick out where I run into my crease. And then I make that line bigger. I like this blue because it doesn't have a dark undertone. It stays very bright blue instead of getting too dark. And I create a bit of a triangle to get to that point, and I fatten it up in the crease so my flaws don't show as much, if that makes any sense. I'm talking about right around here, creating that upside down triangle. I'll try kind of fast. Then I work my way in to decide how fat that line can be, and I try to press up against my lash line and then thicken it as I work my way out. And many liquid liners start to dry fast, so instead of trying to push down and drag where you can actually lift the product and then create like a bare space, which is not good, press instead of drag. So I'm gonna get a little closer here, fatten it up a little to create the smooth line. My hands start to get shaky. And there, I'm happy with that. The other fun thing that I did, I've always loved the little dot that people put as a focal point underneath their lash, down here on your bottom lash line. And I've seen it in a few different colors. And obviously, like editorial, it looks really cool when it's just, you have a bare face and the dot, but it's not as realistic for daily use. It looks kind of weird. So I played around with doing a little bit more of a full face of makeup and then adding that dot as a cool focal point underneath. Let me see if I can get this even. Can't talk for a second. Cat eyes go back to my theory of like, they can be cousins, not twins, because it's so hard to do. As long as you have the right shape, no one's gonna be judging if it's spot on. And for my eye shape, I don't do a super flick up. I feel like it looks weird on me, but you have to use your best judgment with the shape of your eyes. I have to extend this line a little bit to match the sides. I think I did okay. Okay, now I'm gonna add the dot. And I'm gonna choose one space right there. You can do this with any color. White could be cool. I'm wanting to try that, but I don't have a white eyeliner. And it's gonna look a bit more, less, it's gonna stand out less when I add mascara. You could do a couple of dots too, that'd be cool. Kind of doll-like, if you will. I'm gonna curl my lashes. Make sure you get them all in. And when you feel comfortable, give it a light squeeze, and then give it really hard squeeze and kind of lift up like this. This is called The Shock. It's by Yves Saint Laurent. Mine's kind of old right now, but I'm gonna make it work, you know? I love Voluminous by L'Oreal. Such a good mascara. I've used her forever. This one's nice. It's like a raggedy cattail or something. It's like fat and really gets your lashes nice and covered. She's really goopy right now. I'm going for a chunky mascara look today. Great. So I can get this without smearing it all over. I'm fine with that. So I'm gonna add a little bit of mascara on the bottom. I'm not trying to get every lash. I'm just trying to darken them a little bit to add some definition. Then I pick it off the end so I don't have a spidery vibe. If you have a little spoolie, they're great to comb through your lashes. Okay, so I have my little dot. It's not super noticeable, but it does add a focal point that's kind of cool to draw attention to your eyes. And now I'm going to use my favorite product, Wonder Brow. Get this on Amazon. I use the brush it comes with because it's a funky texture. It works better than other brushes that are, I think this is a synthetic brush. And for some reason with this product, it works better than using a real animal hair brush. I'm filling in my brows, making them a little bit bigger than what they are, and adding a point to the end down here where I don't actually have any hairs. It's the illusion. I'm running out of this baby too. Fill in, fill in. I'm very light, I'm like very, very light about this right now. So just little tiny brush strokes. You can do this with a pencil too. Easy. It's more precise for sure, but it takes a lot more time. No one's really gonna be seeing me, so I'm gonna do this quick. It's my brow. My eyebrows are very different shapes. This one's like lower, so I have a love-hate relationship with them. Glossier Boy Brow. This helps keep them upright, so I'm gonna try to make them a little fluffy. This Wonder Brow product is kind of like glue. It dries, and then you can even go swimming and your brows won't come off, which is so bomb. But if you don't go through there with something like this product, Boy Brow, they could be like glued down to your face and that looks kind of weird. So you want to fluff them up before they get too dry, so they have some volume and they actually look like hair. Can you see? Okay. Bobbi Brown. This is just a gold shimmer. You can use a silver shimmer or whatever your little heart desires. Give a little pop in that eye. Go back over this. I'm going to use a Nude Sticks color. This is cool because it's a lip paint, but you can also put it on your cheeks or your eyes. So I'm gonna do it on my lips. And I don't want this intense of a color. I'm gonna smudge it down a little bit. And it becomes like a stain. Solid brush here, go away. I'm gonna keep smudging because that feels a little dark. And I'm gonna put a little on my cheeks. I'm actually gonna use the fat part of my beauty blender and just add a little tiny pop of this on my cheeks. It's nice to be cohesive, so actually working with Nude Sticks, they taught me that. Basically all the products you can use on your eyes. your cheeks, and your lips. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, Kevin Aucoin makes a really great highlighter. This one's called Prism Rose. Tiny bit goes a long way. This is like gloss almost. So I'm gonna put it on my cheeks, just for that extra sheen. You can press it around all over your face a little bit if you like. And I feel like I still need a little bit of bronzer. I'm gonna use Hoola by Benefit and a fluffy brush. Take it down a little bit on my hand and just blend all over. ColourPop is an amazing company. I love their stuff. I'm gonna add a little bit of pink to my red stain. And the other fun thing that I've been doing to have fun and make my day a little bit more sparkly, and I'm gonna pop one of these babies on. My kids really like these. And that is how I've been doing my makeup. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Here I am.